Rhun.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Julpy and Ghosty.
Summoning.
Yes.
Long lost to where no pathway goes. We're listening to this song and Rhun, I think is how you pronounce it, because Rhun is an instrumental that
Kicks off the next one.
bleeds into the next song. Apparently this is like a Lord of the Rings style band, so that's good.
Yeah.
We were not able to get Rhun because the actual official video or whatever it was wouldn't let us download it. But we got a cover. But I listened to the original and it sounds close enough in the little sound bites that I listened to get to it. So we're listening to Rhun and then it's going to go right into that one. If you, dear listener, would like to join a Patreon alliance, it's simply $1 at the gate. To start, of course, if you go to higher tiers, then you get you get bigger benefits. There is a mini channel that Sori and the girls are doing.
Yeah, we put out a few videos just like publicly on My Sori Life, but then we're going to be putting some just exclusively up on Patreon.
So there's many benefits to Patreon, but one of them is you get an alliance, and then the alliance decides to get you a song reviewed. So here we are. For time and topical political commentary, you can hit us up at Middle America with Vin and Sori.
That'd be us. Babe, what are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to plug in my sound so I can hear it.
Why? Why do you need the sound?
So I can review the song.
I can review it myself, though.
We have awesome shirts.
If you look in the description on this video, it gives you the link to our merch or gear or whatever you want to call it.
I call it gear.
I call it merch. And that's also where you can find our address if you want to mail us something, our email address if you want to email us, Patreon, like all of it. It's all in the description. So check it out.
For sure.
See what we got going on all of our socials.
It is hoodie season, ladies and gents.
Yep. And they got these cute little arm warmers.
You know what that means. Is that a Vin and Sori arm warmer?
No.
Oh, you just got it.
I got it.
Because when you stay up late at night, you just decide you're going to impulse shop. Okay.
You shouldn't fall asleep on me.
Let's begin.
And...
Go! I can't hear it either.
You can't?
Thank you for plugging out my thing.
Nothing to do with that.
It's terrible.
Definitely a fan of that sound. Ugh.
Whoa.
That one was sad.
I thoroughly enjoyed the sound
Yep.
of this band.
Yep.
Apparently they're a black metal band,
Okay.
which I thought, just listening to Mayhem and the beginnings of black metal,
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy how much the genre has evolved.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm looking at okay, so I'm looking at this Wikipedia page for this band.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the album's cover was adapted from the Bard, an 1817 painting by John Martin. The album is the first by summoning to feature audio clips. The clips used on this album were for the movies Braveheart and Legend.
Oh.
And then the lyrical references. Stronghold marks the first time in which not all lyrics were derived from J.R.R. Tolkien. Rhun is an Elvish word for east and was a name used for all lands lying east of Middle-earth. Long lost to where no pathway goes is taken from the Lays of Beleriand, the Lay of the Children of Hurin, and a Tolkien poem about St. Bernard's death called Imram. The Glory Disappeared is taken from William Wordsworth's poems Loud as a Veil. So it seems like they just take classical literature and put it to music. Apparently, this is the first time for this band that not all the lyrics were derived from Tolkien. So they're heavily influenced by Tolkien. So I think you'd have to have a lot of Tolkienic background to fully understand what they were doing lyrically.
Oh.
Although I think it can stand by itself.
I thought it was just about death and not going to a place where it was going to be good. That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were you getting from it?
Well, yeah, it was sort of I don't know if it's a romantic way to talk about death, but it's kind of a romantic way to deal with the topic of death, is what it looks like to me when he says, "Brother, far afloat you must labor to sea, find yourself things out of mind, you will learn no more of me." So this person, they're a seafaring person, but you'll learn no more of me means he's gonna die, in my opinion. It's interesting though, the next song is called The Glory Disappears. Then it goes like Some Snow White Marble Eyes, which, you know, again, we're hoping daylight died, the riding horse on the deadly ground, the shadow lies frozen on the hills, the loud music of the sky, and a distant flame before the sun. So it just seems like wrestling with the concept of living and dying, while at the same time, you know, appealing to the classics, apparently, that this guy obviously has a massive appreciation for. But Good Night, it sounded really, really beautiful. It sounded like it definitely sounded like it could have been the soundtrack to Lord of the Rings for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's funny because like I had like two opposing feelings about the song. Like in one sense I was like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful, I love that sound. And then other times I was like, I'm really bored. And then it would go back to be like, whoa. So I'm not sure if that was in the song or if it was just my particular mood today. What was there like spots where you could see, oh yeah, I can see where she would get bored with that, but then like, whoa.
No, not for me. I mean, I wasn't bored with any of them because I was like, that's going to be in my head all day. All day. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And there was not really a moment for me where I was like, this is kind of dragging a little bit. Anytime I hear a song like this, I always wish that there were female vocals with it. At least to back it up and give it some melody, because I like the juxtaposition of like, you know, grimy, you know, vocals. But with a song like that, this epic,
totally agree.
And then the poetry that's used in the lyrics, it would have just, in my mind, have been fitting for some, you know, whatever. I think there's like an entire mixtape of songs I would like Lindsay to cover. I would pay some handsome money to see that covered, Lindsay. No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the synth. I loved all of it. When I first, you know, saw Lord of the Rings and all that, I remember being so frustrated because it was so inspiring to me, but I didn't have the skill at the time to put on guitar when I wanted to. You know, the way that I was inspired by the movie, I wanted to translate it in guitar, and I just didn't have the skill at the time to do it. I mean, I had pedals where I could get some synthy sounds out there, but I just didn't have the scales to be able to say, okay, this is what they're doing, da 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 da. So I remember being really, really frustrated by that, and I remember also thinking that I was like very original. I remember thinking nobody has thought to do like a metal Lord of the Rings type thing, and I'm looking at this date. It's 1999, so I'm pretty sure Lord of the Rings hadn't even come out in '99 yet. Shoot, I was still in New York City at the time. You know what I mean? So like these guys had already done it before the movie even began. It's just one of those things where I'm like consistently laughing at myself because. You know, there's just so much richness to the metal catalog.
Oh, yeah.
There's literally something for everybody. And, you know, sometimes that's bad, but a lot of times it's good. And this is one of them, man, where it just fit perfectly with Lord of the Rings. And, you know, I wish there was an entire, like, metalized version of the soundtrack of Lord of the Rings.
That would be crazy.
But again, this thing kind of stands for itself, like the way that everything went. I would never find the burning domes and sands where reigns the sun, nor dare the snows, nor seek in mountains dark the landscape of the men long lost to whom no pathway goes. I mean, just really, really, really good just poetry and writing. And again, I don't know how much of this is original to the singer / you know, like it said in Wikipedia. They're and I don't think they're borrowing those lines because they're incapable of writing their own. I think they're doing that for a very specific reason. I think they have a commitment to classical literature and they want to see those things happen. You know what I mean? So they want to see those things preserved, and they want to see those things appreciated. And so I love that about this band. But there are parts for you that was just too much or boring or whatever. What were you saying?
Yeah, like there was. I was kind of like, this is taking a while. And then there was other parts where all of a sudden it just seemed like it got really, really epic, and then it would like pique my interest in it again. And then it would kind of.
What did you think of the intro?
Oh, I liked the intro.
The intro is. it always like. It's very interesting to me, like when you think about music and art, because on the one hand it's like, oh, art is subjective, and that's just an assumption that everybody has. And then I ran into Aquinas, where he was saying, no, actually art is objective, that there's objective things that are objectively beautiful and things that are not, which is to our current milieu. I don't think we're postmodern anymore. Somebody's gonna have to come up with what we are right now. Maybe we've reverted to a form of modernism, but obviously it's like, that's ridiculous, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, yeah. But like when I heard the intro to, it's called Rhun, I think, which means east in Elvish tongue, I guess. It's like, okay, it's time to go to war.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like if I played that at any plot of land in any spot on the planet in any period of time, whether 2,000 years ago or 2,000 years into the future, everybody would interpret that as, okay, it's time to do jihad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I always battle with this idea of like, okay, how subjective is art really, when you know that no matter who you listen to, or nobody, if I showed that piece of music to somebody, nobody would say, oh, this is music to go to sleep, or this is the music that makes me want to do a waltz or whatever.
Yeah.
And not necessarily like do jihad, but like workout, motivational, whatever you want to call it. Like there are some songs that are just objectively motivational.
Yeah.
Or you can tell that is the goal of the composer.
Yeah, that's funny because I was thinking of working out when that was playing.
Right. So the goal is to get you to move, physically. So I think everybody would hear that and say that's the intention of that song, because there's no lyrics to it, obviously.
Right.
But so both of those combine, like the strong, like marching type of thing. It's like, but then you go here and it's very contemplative, and it's very, kind of inward focused about the ramifications of
the thing that they were beating on the drum there at the beginning.
Yeah.
Didn't sound like a regular drum.
Beautiful stuff. What do you give the song?
Ooh. It's probably like a 9.2.
Yeah, it's a 9.4 for me. For sure. Good song. Good band. Good pick, EU. We very much appreciated it.
Yes, I know.
Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.